Okay, so my first job today is going to be replacing the lamps in the bedroom using these little plastic vases as bases, and I think I showed you these in the last episode. So I've been having a bit of a practice with making lampshades and then attaching them in here, and I used a piece of metal rod to start with, but I couldn't quite get it to sit right. I put tacky wax in the bottom of these vases and onto the rod, but it just wouldn't sit up straight, so no matter what I did, I had some wonky lamps. But then on a different day, when I was actually going through my miniatures box looking for something else, I found this lamp. Now, I ordered 2 of these a little while ago, and these were electrified, but I actually wanted them just for a display, and I think it was in my last book actually, and I used them in the nursery scene, in the setting that I created for the pieces of nursery furniture. So for some reason I actually took away the electric, so I took out the bulb and then took the wire out that went through this sort of ceramic part and out of the bottom there, just because they wouldn't stand up straight. So what I'm left with now is 2 really nice plain lamps that I can cover with fabric, and they look really good actually in the little vase. Now actually looking through the camera from that angle they look a little bit dumpy, but if I hold that up, look how nice that looks. Now I know somebody had said about having the lamps a little bit higher because she felt that even lamps in real size, the actual shade is too low down. But I actually quite like how that looks, so I am going to leave it like that. And obviously it's a lot easier just to slot that in there rather than then having to find another piece of wire to put in there, or a metal rod to actually prop that up. But I quite like that. I'm going to show you how they actually look as well on the bedside cabinet so you can see what I mean. And when you're making a lamp, if you're using a sort of, pre-bought shade or one that you haven't made yourself, always just check and make sure that the sizes look correct. Sometimes even things that are labelled as 12th scale can look a little bit out of scale once they're in the doll's house. But let me show you what they look like in there. I've actually just got my handheld torch here because Matt's pinched my my bigger light. But I think actually if I take that away, that actually looks better without the light, doesn't it? So I'll pop that to one side. But I think they look really good there. Now I'm going to be covering them with the teal coloured silk, but I really like the size of those. And I think they go really nicely as well with the style of the bedroom. So that will be my next job then, to cover those, and then I can use maybe just tacky wax actually to attach the lamps into the vases, obviously because it's plastic, so I can't use my normal sort of Gorilla Glue. But I'll do that in a moment. But just one thing I wanted to show you, just going off on a bit of a tangent, in the living room is this winged back chair. Now this was one of the pieces that I made over on my Patreon channel as one of the monthly tutorials, which I publish on the 20th of every month, and there are now actually I think 72 tutorials available over there. Shameless plug. But the reason I'm showing you this is just because I'm going to remake one of these to go in here, and I just sort of popped that there to see how it looked, and I actually think that looks really nice and goes nicely with the style of the room. So obviously ignore the colours and the patterns there, but what I actually want to do it in is like a check, like this cushion. So I would do the whole chair in a really nice check like that, get some of the red braiding to go around the arms and around the wings, and then have some plain cushions on it, and I think that would look really nice. So I just wanted to show you that because I'm really looking forward to doing that. So although the tutorial is available over on Patreon, so I won't be doing a full tutorial here, but you might like to join me while I sit and remake that piece. And I love making armchairs and sofas, so that will be in an upcoming episode as well. But what I'm going to do for now is take these lamps back into the craft room and get the shades covered. I began by making paper templates to fit each of the shades, leaving a couple of millimetres at the top and bottom so I've got a little bit of fabric to fold around. I then covered both sides of the template with double-sided tape, and this one I'm using is just 12mm or 1/2 inch wide. I trimmed around the template and then applied the tape to the other side and then trimmed again. After ironing my fabric on a low temperature setting, I attached the first template. I cut carefully around the fabric and then removed the backing from the remaining double-sided tape. I then attached the fabric to the lamp and after smoothing it down, tucked around the edges.
Here's your tea.
Thank you very much.
Anything else?
No, not for now, thank you. Thanks, darling. Okay, so that's the first lampshade covered. I haven't attached that on there yet. But if you saw there in the footage, I actually wrapped the fabric around on the inside and underneath, but it didn't look very neat, so I have actually now trimmed it off. So just do that really carefully, and I would still advise that you cut your template and fabric larger than you need it, because then it's easier to trim. But I'm really happy with that. If you're using this sort of silk fabric, just be aware that it does have a right and wrong side, even though they don't look, you know, completely different. But I did just notice that one side had more of a sheen than the other. The other side's a little bit more matte. So always sort of check that you're sticking your template down on the correct size as well. So I've got my second piece covered here, so I'll do my other lamp, glue them into the bases, and then we can go and put them in place. Okay, so both lamps are now complete and I'm really pleased with them. I just wanted to show you around the back as well, so you can see as well how neat that join is, but also you would always have that position towards the back, so that's not going to be seen. And I just attached the lamp to the base using a tiny bit of tacky wax, and we'll see how that goes. If it doesn't hold them, then obviously I'll have to get my strong glue out, the glue that works with plastic, but for now hopefully that will work. So let's go and put them into place. And there they are in place. And they look so much better with those coloured shades. It really makes them stand out against that back wall. But obviously got lots more things to go even on the bedside cabinet, so I'd like to do a little glass of water and then perhaps some bits and pieces underneath as well, where we've got that shelf at the bottom there. But what I want to do now is actually put up the paintings that Matt did for me, the little set of 3 water lily paintings to match this larger painting that he did over here, which I absolutely love. So let's do that next. So here is the set of 3 water lily paintings that Matt did for me, and I'm going to frame these actually just using a 3x3 or 1/8 of an inch strip, just because I haven't got a lot of room going across that wall and I don't want to take up all the space with the frame, and as they're such small paintings as well, I think that's going to look really nice. Just a nice thin frame. But what I'm going to do first is actually paint the strip and then cut them to size. So to paint the strip that I'm going to use for the frames, I used this paint called Hempstead, and this is a normal household emulsion, but it's actually sort of like a white with a hint of very pale grey, so it's not a bright white, and I actually mixed this colour with a white to paint the furniture in the room. Okay, so I framed the pictures here, and I didn't do a sort of full explanation of this because I'm sure you've all seen me create these sort of simple frames before. You just put a piece of strip at the top and bottom and then cut another piece to cover the edges of that, and then paint around it all to cover the sort of cut wood. And these are now dry, so I'm going to go and put them into place, and I'm actually going to glue them into place. paintings in place. I really like how they look, and that really sort of finishes off that wall. It was looking sort of quite bare in that area. I think they look really nice. So I'm really pleased with how the room is coming along. Obviously there's lots more to do. Really need to get something done in this area here. I found out that lovely little ginger jar there. The lid won't stay on, so every time I move anything that falls off, but I really like that, and that's got that sort of teal colour in it as well to match the room. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm just leaving it here because I want to be able to edit and upload the video this evening, or if not this evening, then first thing in the morning. So I know we haven't done that much in this episode, but I'm trying to keep the episodes a little bit shorter. And before I go, I just want to ask you for a bit of feedback on the channel. Just lately, or probably not even just lately, probably for the last year, I would say, my views have really dropped off, and it's very, very difficult to get new subscribers, so my subscriber numbers have also dropped. And a lot of the people that are subscribed to my channel aren't actually watching the videos if I sort of go in and look at all of the percentages. So I'm just wondering why that is, and would like to ask you for a bit of feedback. So I'd like to know what you want to see here on the channel. You know, do you like the longer videos? Would you rather me do shorter videos? Do you want uploads on a particular day or at a particular time? Do you want to see me in them, or would you rather just see what I'm doing? I've been doing a bit of research on channels who have content similar to mine. They all seem to be doing really well, so they all have subscribers well over 100,000. They're all getting hundreds of thousands of views. You know, one video might get overnight what it takes me a month to get. So although, you know, I enjoy putting the videos on, so it isn't just all about the figures, but obviously this is my business, so I need to make the hours work. So with a video taking, you know, quite a few hours to film and then edit, and then I'm only getting like a couple of thousand views on it in a month, which is about £7 or £8, depending, you know, upon if people have clicked through the adverts or not. It's, from a business point of view, it really isn't worth me doing anymore. So if that is the case and my views, you know, I don't sort of see an improvement in my views, then I will just have to do videos in my spare time. You know, I won't be able to do it as part of my day job anymore, which is a shame because, like I say, I really do enjoy them, and I know a lot of you like the Doll's House Diary episodes. But just let me know, just comment below, give me your feedback, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, what you think I could do better. I don't mind if it's negative, you know, if you want to have a bit of a rant, or, you know, I really don't mind. I just really would appreciate your feedback. And then, you know, I'm not saying that I will change everything I do to fit in with all of the comments, 'cause I'm sure lots of you will say something different. But, you know, it will just give me an idea of perhaps what I'm doing wrong here and what people want to see. So please do leave a comment below. As always, I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons. To each and every one of you, your support is truly appreciated. And if you'd like to check out my Patreon page, if you do enjoy my tutorials, head over to patreon.com/littlebitsandpiecesbyjulie, where you can find out all about what I post over there. And I do 3 posts a month. We have a monthly vlog, the 1940s Doll's House, and a monthly tutorial, and each one is in a different tier. So just go and have a look if you're interested, and you can join and leave if you're not happy with what you see over there either. Okay, but like I say, that's it for today, so I'm going to let you go now and stop ranting. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. There's still loads to do, so hopefully you'll all give me some ideas of how to improve my videos, and I'll see you again soon. So take care. Bye.